Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Friday evening here at this August 29th, 2 days before my daughter's birthday, 29th, 2025. I know you're just as excited as I am about the weekend, and I know you're just as excited to be here as I am to hang out with all you guys for about an hour or so and see where it goes from there. So, welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me on your semi early Friday afternoon. Possibly, if you're over on the west coast of the U.S., it might be 8:30. It might be 5:30. It might be 6:30. It might be 7:30. But wherever you are, there you are. And here we are together as always on a Friday night. Um, One of my things that I want to do today is try to rummage up some ideas of what to do with my next fish tank. So that's kind of why I picked the subject on it. But I've actually have the tank currently sitting in its spot. There's no water in it right now, but I do have a filter ready for it, and I do have some ideas rummaging through. But I really like this topic, and I've really liked some of the ideas that's been going through my head, especially since I've had, I believe his name's Greg from 3G. um, but he has a lot of Ultim Angels. There's a lot of different choices to choose from that we'll get into, but we'll kind of wait for people to roll in here and hang out for a little bit. And I'll say hello to Jose. Thanks for coming in. Hello, driving home another 30 minutes. So thank you for listening in on your drive home. Jesse, thanks for coming in. And NC Pleco Cavers, thank you for hanging out and giving me some goofy faces. Thanks for the live liked. Jesse's got some low energy, my friend. You gotta drink some Red Bulls or something. Been up since 6:30. Finished installing last section of the gutters on my house, and gutted my shed. Reorganized, built a workbench, and then mowed. That is a lot to do ever since 6:30. You've been running around like a chicken with its head cut off, or a fish with its fin eaten off. A little bit of dark fish humor, if you will. But yeah, it's been quite a busy week for me too. I've done all my water changes this week. I am working on a I just recorded a Haiger backpack filter review. It's a follow-up review of what I did to begin with. There's a couple comments on there that I've gotten throughout the time that it's been on there, and I'm going to do a follow-up review on it because it's the one and only filter currently that's running that that I've gotten from Haiger. I sold one to a 29 gallon, or no, I went to the 46 gallon boat frame, if I'm not mistaken. I went to that one. I have another one that's got taken down due to fish movement. And then this backpack filter, I moved from a 29 to a 40 because of moving fish tanks around. So, at any rate, Jorge, thanks for coming in here. I'm going to try my best at this so you can kind of do this accordingly. But hola, ¿cómo está? Estoy muy bien. Let's see. Let's see. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Todos los días. ¿Dónde está el baño? Hello. And I'm sure Jose will appreciate that too. But if you ask me to respond for anything from you, it might be challenging because I haven't done Spanish since I was in high school. So those are the gist of my high school days and Dominican Republic days. So thanks for coming in at any rate. Um, what's up, man? Hope everything is going well with your website and hope everything is doing just as fine as ever with your fish room, and hopefully you keep updating everything. Not not likely, my friend, not likely. But I do appreciate the humor behind all this. Another thing too is I'm trying to think if I should do I still want to try to stick with Fridays, but I was debating about switching over to Thursdays. Right now, I'm still going to do Fridays, but as far as October goes, it's going to be switching to Thursdays for my live streams. And I was debating about actually starting maybe 30 minutes earlier and starting at 8 instead of 8:30. But I'm kind of I still like the Fridays, but October, I'm going to be pretty busy in October on Fridays. So I'm going to have to switch my days to Thursday night. So I'm just letting everybody know about that. And um, yeah, getting ready for my daughter's birthday. It's going to be freaking exciting. I can't wait. We got a really big item for her that we were starting to put together the other night, and I haven't finished it yet. And then, sure enough, as odds are, as soon as I start putting it together, about halfway through, she comes out of her door. And I was like, stop right where you are. So, but yeah, it's still going to be fun. She didn't see anything, thankfully, so we're able to get her back to sleep and all that sort of thing. I have to thank my wife for that because she's the one that stopped her in their tracks. But I know there's a lot of other live streams going on. I know KG Tropical switched their live stream over to Fridays. I think Ohio Fish Rescue is doing a live stream as well. And I feel like this is something that, since it kind of interrupts, I guess not interrupts, but I'm starting an hour before Stephen P's live stream. So, which is kind of nice because people can kind of, frolic over from, my stream over to their stream there at 9:30 Eastern time. But I'm trying to experiment here and see what days or what day will work best because it seems like Fridays are pretty busy. And if that being the case, Jesse has a really, really good time spot or a time slot for him just because it's early morning. Saturdays, people are just waking up. There's also Friday nights during this time of year. There's a lot of football games going on, so, and I don't get into football per se, but I just know there's a lot of people getting off of work, getting off of school, doing, odds and ends with different activities with sports and the kids. So maybe Friday night may not be the best time, but I'm just trying to get some ideas and I'm trying to stick with it. Jesse's been doing live streams for Saturday morning for a long time. So he's got a really good time slot, and I wish I could find a time slot that would work best for me that I could get a good amount of people in. Hi Henry, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. But I've definitely rummaged some ideas around. And I know Jose, you said you were driving, so I appreciate you listening in. Jose, I do appreciate giving me the stickers along with your lovely partying gifts. So I have not sent them up yet because I had to get batteries. I didn't realize I was out of batteries, and then we got busy, and so I got to get the batteries. Well, we got the batteries today, so I got to set those bins up tomorrow underneath all my FX6s. So I couldn't believe that if when you go on Uline's website and those bins, some of the stuff on Uline, even when you pay shipping, it's actually cheaper than what Amazon sells some stuff. And I was very surprised about that because I think I paid like 16 or 18 bucks for shipping, something like that. So yeah. So Jose, thank you a lot for the stickers. I appreciate it. As far as passing them out to whoever, I'm gonna have to maybe pass them out to local fish stores, like people that I see at local fish stores that happen to recognize me and my channel, that sort of thing. I could spread the word that way because I know there's a couple local fish stores around where I live that they just know me by face and my name, and they usually ask how my channel's going and that sort of thing. So I could give some stickers out to them. If there's someone that recognizes my channel, that's just out and about, I can sort on bit. Hey, just check this channel out too while you're at it. Support him, or small little YouTube local channels. So yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of football going on. It seems like when football season starts, it's usually where people don't watch a whole lot of YouTube because football's going on. So you're gonna watch it at home. Yeah, it's Friday night stuff. It's a football night, and plus with all the other live streams that has switched around, I feel like it gets busy during this time of night. So maybe if that's something that I could do, maybe on a later time frame. But like I said, we'll see what happens. Yeah, and I'm planning to do a giveaway as well. So I think on my next giveaway, I have some stickers left from my channel, and then at the same time, I could throw in one of your stickers in there as well. So I think that would be a good idea to do. Because I know since we've had that massive what do they call them, super chats that we had the one day, I definitely have to come up with another giveaway. But thing is I want to do a giveaway that involves a lot of people that come in and live stream and hang out for a little bit. Um, because if I do a giveaway and there's only like 2 or 3 people watching, it's kind of like I want people to be involved in in the next giveaway. So that's why I'm trying to pick the best time slot to get a lot of people in and hang out for a little bit and get us all together and that sort of thing. Um, Jose says Fridays are good for him. Henry, my week was great. I was off work. My last day of work was Monday, and I've been off since Tuesday, and I've gotten a lot of stuff done this week. I've been busy, busy, busy. It just seems like I'm busier at home than I am at work because there's just so much catch up to do whenever I get busy with work. I do like mow the lawn, like Jesse said, doing some things around the house, inside and outside the house. It's where I catch up on my water changes. And then I'm also was working on a video on an update for a high product on a part two, and then moving some tanks around. So it's been a busy week. Um, I usually don't do I did my first water change on this tank the other day. It was about 2.5 weeks in. It's hard to believe that I can actually look at my app that how long it has been. It has been 18 days. So August 11th is when it was started up. I've had this in here. So yeah, my week is good. How about you, man? How's your week been and how have you been feeling? Um, she, the Alana is going to be 3 on Sunday, and we're going to have family and friends, and we'll have the pool open for everyone, food and presents and all that, cake and ice cream and everything in between. So it'll be real exciting for us. I'm really excited for it too, just because of the fact that I don't know, we it's kind of going to be like Christmas for Alana this year because we got her this really, really. I don't want to say too much because she might be listening on my wife's phone if she has my live stream up. But we got her an item that whenever she walks downstairs, she's going to be like super excited about it. So, because like I said, we're about halfway through putting it together. We're going to put their half. I'm going to put the other half of it together tomorrow night, the night before she comes in. Sunday morning to see it. So it's going to be super exciting. Be careful on your drive, Jose. Hopefully you know to jump in for a little bit on my live stream. I might post the link and see if anyone else wants to join. I haven't done a show me your tank series in a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks, I think is what I looked up. And I really like this topic because I know that 3G. I was trying to think of his actual name. I could not remember for the life of me. Greg, I think it's Greg, if I'm not mistaken. But um, he has some amazing angels that he's been on the live stream a couple of times to show me your tanks. I have not been able to do that lately just because I'm trying to figure out some audio issues with my laptop. So once I get my computer nerd in here and help out with that, we can go from there. So once I get that started, then we can get some more people in here because I've had some audio issues with this laptop lately, and I need to figure out. It's probably something stupid and small, but until then, it's hard to get people up here because I can't. Whenever I get on StreamYard, it's only StreamYard. Where every time I get on here, I have a hard time with audio output. But then when I close StreamYard, the audio is fine. So it doesn't make any sense. If I go upstairs on my computer, it's a desktop. There's a lot, it's involved with it, and everything's perfect. And I can do anything I want on that computer. That's why I'm going to be doing my Twitch stream tonight, and I'm on my next live because technically this is actually on Twitch as well. So whenever I get off here and I'm done on this one, then I'm going to be jumping on Twitch to go on my next stream, and I'll probably post that. Well, I'll probably post it on the Discord if you guys are on Discord, because I actually do not have it up and running currently as like a pause state per se. So I'll be doing that. So anyone who wants to join, I'll put the link in the Discord channel in the chat section of Jesse's Discord. If anyone else wants to join in, who has Twitch, they can jump in and see me hang out for a little bit, and, play some games and such, that sort of thing. Let me see here. Jesse says, I'm giving away out for a bit, send out 30 pounds of food and stickers again, and I'm forwarding my next shipment to the Tropical Fish Company to help startup costs to Jody and Junkin. Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, I'm giving away elaborate for this for me, Jesse. You're giving away out for a bit 30 pounds of food and stickers again. So are you sending this? You're sending this to JDP and their company, if I'm understanding this correctly, to get them started up? Because that's a good idea. I could do that too. I could probably send some stickers to JDP that way whenever they get their business up and running, like full swing as far as like, because I know they got it up and running, but as far as like advertisement for us, I think that would be a good idea for us to send stickers out to them, so that way say, hey, look, here's a bunch of YouTube people that we all follow and stay in a community with. So I think that's a really good idea. Oh, and you already talked to Darius about it. Oh, you're talking from Northfin. Okay, that must be what you're talking about. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of nervous to bring people up here tonight. Now that I think of it, just because the audio issues I've been having trouble with. Like I said, whenever I come on StreamYard, it just seems like I have horrible audio issues, and I need to get that figured out. We can always try and see, but if I can't hear you, then I probably would be a good idea to have you on here because it's not fun for me, as it will be for everybody else because everyone else will be able to hear you and I won't be able to. What update do you want? NC? Oh, you would like to do an update on your website and your situation. So we'll do that not next week, but it might be able to do the week after. It might have to be a different time though. Because next week, yeah, it'll have to be. We'll figure something out, NC. We'll figure out a day on Show Me Your Tanks, and we'll do an update at some point. Hey, Warren, thanks for stopping by and showing up. I appreciate it. Um. Oh, okay. Oh, you give it out like you tapped out. Okay, I get what you're saying. So that's what you mean by this, then, that you're out for a little bit on giveaways because of 30 pounds of food and stickers again. So you've been busy. You've been doing that a lot, and you had a good run with all that stuff, and you've been very generous with all your giveaways and all the stuff that you've been giving to people. So that's very appreciated by everyone. So that makes sense. So yeah, the North Fin food to them, yeah, that'll give them a started up. I think that'll be perfect. That's great that you can have like a company like Northfin to work with you guys. I think that's fantastic. I wish I could get a supporter like Northfin, or like even if it was like Sarah, or if it was oh, what's the other one? New Life Spectrum. It'd be really cool to get with a company to be able to have some support with them and try to get their name out to whoever doesn't know about them. Because I know Jesse, you like New Life Spectrum with your Jesse's Northfin and New Life Spectrum mix, so that's always a good thing to have. But anyways, we got looks like we got maybe 6 people in here. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of run through some ideas. I know that there's not a whole lot of people in here, but he said you talked to Darius, and next segment is going straight to Jody P and the whole thing. That's good. That's awesome, Jesse. Sounds savvy. All right, so and as everyone else comes in, if it gets busier with more people that come in, we can always run through the websites and stuff there, or the fish selection that I've been looking at. Nothing I bought per se, but just some ideas. My 75 gallon is set up over there with no water, like I said, and um, it's got black diamond sand in it, that blasting sand. And I wanted to do this because I've never done it before. This whole tank, I want to do something completely different. That's not African cichlid related. I want to try to stick with American stuff if I can. But at any rate, I'd like to keep it, somewhat simplistic, but also different, something I've never done before. So this is why my topic came back to thinking about angelfish, because we had 3G in here showing off his Ultim Angels and all his different tanks. So this is why I kind of wanted to add this in. Let's see here. I want to add this one in here. Let's go with this one. So this is the kind of stuff that I've wanted to look at. Rope fish. Yep. I kind of curious about that myself, Jesse. So this is the kind of stuff that I've been kind of looking at here. Is there's a lot of neat like koi angelfish that they're just I don't know, they're so cool looking. And you get like such a good marble color. I mean, there's so many different variations you can choose from that are just absolutely stunning. And I don't know I've really, as a kid, I've always liked angelfish. I've always been kind of astounded by them, but I never actually got them as an adult. And whenever I did get them as a kid, it was just kind of like, back then when I was, so young, I didn't really know how to take care of a fish tank. So it was a little bit different for me. But the only thing with black angelfish is I have black sand, so they would be able to hide. Like you might not even be able to see them unless they go like in front of like the decorations and stuff. I would probably stay away from the assorted angelfish because if I were to get angelfish, I want to know what the name is and where they came from and that sort of thing. And Imperial Tropicals, as I bought from this website before, and I've had very good luck with them. I've never had a fish die. All the fish that's been shipped to me has been okay. But you got like these amp angelfish. They got these really high fins that are kind of related to the Ultim angels that have the real high fins. We'll get to those here in a minute. But some that really, I know that some of these things are saying sold out, but I'm just kind of getting some ideas. But like these smoky Panoy angelfish, I really like the look of these guys just because of the two alteration colors. You got like the yellows and the blacks, and they just have this really neat, almost like a blue hint to them, which is really, really, really cool. Yeah, Jesse, that was kind of like my fears. Like if you have black angelfish or black backs, it's hard to see them. Yep. And my background on this not only is the sand substrate black, but it's also the background is black as well. So you almost need to find something that they can go in front of and be like, oh look, there they are. But it might be kind of fun because you would never know they're there, even though they're right in front of you. But anyways, that's one that really caught my attention there. Another one that has caught my attention would be like these platinum angelfish, just because of the black. It would be like nice to have like the black and white contrast. Um, I think that would be really neat. And the other thing I was thinking of too is I was going to ask you guys that are here in the chat as far as, oh, hey, June, thanks for coming in. I'm trying to make sure I stay up with chat for a little bit in case I miss anyone. So thanks for coming in. Okay, so you have two of those then. So then I do like this platinum idea just for the white and black contrast. But then what also caught my eye are these blue smoky Panoy angelfish, just kind of like the other ones, just because of just the green and the black. It would be so cool to see like everything like black in there, and then you just be able to see like this whole top area there, like a greenish blue sort of color. So if this ever were to come back into Imperial Tropicals, I would definitely consider getting something like this because those things are really, really cool looking. I want to see how big they can get, like on the animal data, about 5 to 6 inches. So I'm wondering if that includes like from 10 from top to bottom where the fin is, like the dorsal fin and the anal fin, or does that just include just the circular part of them? But it's interesting that I get a lot of things like this with angelfish and what to pair them with. And I'm getting a lot of these Colombian rams, these German blue rams. So I'm trying to think if I were to get like angelfish and stuff. I'm trying to think if I know that 3G, he's been just having the angelfish just by themselves. I believe so for the most part. I might be a little wrong on that, but I just looked up his last time he was on my live stream on Show Me Your Tanks. From what I saw, it was just angelfish. And I think he breeds some too. But then you got like different stuff. Like you got these red devil kois, and I tell you what though, I think the white would look good, but I'm telling you right now, with these orange and black, I think the orange would just really pop, like really, really, really bright, like in your face with the black background, the black substrate. And then I'm trying to think of like what type of decorations to put with this stuff because I don't really know what I would do. So I think these things would look really, really solid when it comes to all the black in it, and it'd be kind of like almost like a Halloween theme because Halloween is my favorite holiday, by the way. And I think the orange and black with the black substrate would be very Halloween related, and I think that would like phenomenal in that tank in there. So I'm just running through some ideas and seeing what I could do. These marble veil, like these things would be a good contrast because then you're kind of getting the mix between both the white and the black. So I think this would be kind of cool to see just because of their fins and stuff. You know, they go so high and then they're just absolutely stunning. It'd be wonderful to see these things grow out. But I'm kind of curious in your guys' thoughts on what do you pair with your angelfish? If you just leave them in as angelfish, do you pair them with these German blue rams or Bolivian blue rams? You got these red koi. A lot of these things are sold out at Imperial Tropicals, so that would be kind of neat to have like some yellow mixed in and red mixed in with the orange. If you maybe paired some orange ones with yellow ones, I think that would be kind of cool too. Um, I'd be a little nervous to go to my local pet store. I would not go to a big box store because I would rather get something that the local fish store knows. Like for example, like Agnes Aquatics, I would rather go there because they label their fish. They know exactly what they're getting, as opposed to going to like your big box stores. They're going to just say assorted angelfish, and I don't want assorted. I would want something that I would know the exact name, so I could put it in my app, know exactly what they're talking about and what's going on. The silver angelfish, I thought had a nice these specks that they have on them, these blue specks. I think that's pretty cool. Um, Not necessarily like Halloween, I guess, related per se, but they do look very, very pretty. And then these are the Altum angelfish on here. I wanted to show those off for sure. Different marble fish or black veil, which is pretty cool. Real long, like something like this. I mean, it almost looks like a giant sword for these guys. I mean, these guys are just cool looking, and they have like a little bit of a slight color to them with their bodies. After that, the black veil are easygoing. That will do well in almost any community tank. Tolerate a wide range of pH values and are peaceful enough to be kept with most tetras and other peaceful cichlids. Longer and more flowing fins than normal angelfish. So that would be pretty cool. So it seems like the general idea. It seems like a lot of people you could put like fish mate or tank mates with would be like your tetras. Maybe like I know Mexicali Jorge, he really loves his tetras, so you could put a bunch of stuff in like that. That might be an option. The German blue rams, maybe I can mix in with these guys as well. Where's the Altum? Oh, there's these guys. So these guys are the ones that have that 3G has. These guys, whereas their max size is 10 inches. And I feel like if I were to go that route, I feel like a fish tank that I would need would probably be a little bit taller. I wanted to ask 3G what tank size that his Altum Angels are in. And I would imagine it's a taller tank or a bigger tank because I wonder if it's in a 125. I bet you it's probably a 125 is what his Altum Angels are in because they need that vertical, space for them to swim around in. As far as like a 75, they could still swim and be okay in, but I just feel like I would feel bad and want them in a bigger tank just because of their span of their fins being so large that you would want that room for them to swim around in. But yeah, these are just some ideas I've been running around with angelfish, the koi angelfish and some stuff like that. So I really like the idea of running this through my head and seeing if this might be my next fish tank, to do something different, to break away from the African cichlids. And my goal eventually is to get rid of those 4 tanks, at some point. It won't be in the near future, it'll probably be sometime next year. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go. Let's see here. What else are we talking about? Let me bring me up here again. Jason says a couple of things I got to do is put the co-op pre-filters on the rest of my FXs and install the trim on the gap at the back of the rest of my tanks. Okay. You said an angelfish jumped out at some point and was crispy on the floor. Yikes! So it probably sitting down there for a while. I can't see angelfish being jumpy. I really can't. But I believe that. Separated the male convict from the two females. Okay. So I wonder if, once they get older and you don't know the difference between male or female, I don't know if obviously with African cichlids, the male is going to be the one with more color and the females are more of like a washed out sort of thing for the most part. But I don't know if the male and female difference, if they have the same amount of color as like the females do. Or I mean, what I'm saying is like the male and the females, do they all have like the same color? Is one different from the other? And how can you tell one male from female? Or is it just like a breeding thing sort of thing? I wouldn't breed angelfish like purposely. Now, if it happens by accident, whatever, but I'm not here to raise up angelfish. So um I have two tanks with angels in them. They share the space with blood parrots. Okay. One had a goldfish and had a goldfish and a dojo loach. Other fish include tetras, one mbuna. Oh, okay. So you had a mbuna in there and a pictus cats. So it seems like loaches and like maybe bottom feeders. So I'm thinking like maybe like if you put like some different like corridors in there. I know that I've seen some pair with like different plecos. So you could probably be okay with angelfish like that way. I saw a lot of tetras, advertised whenever I was looking stuff up online, especially on Imperial Tropicals. Yeah, I really like the idea of Altums just because of how much of their fin span is, and how big they are. But I would just have to. I would feel like I would get something bigger, if I were to get Altums, just because I want them to have that freedom to swim around as much as possible in something that's tall. So I would think I would, if I were to get Altums, I would probably wait, but I would want to get the 3G expert's opinion on that. Jose has angels with everything and no real issues except with each other, especially when they pair up in aggression. Keep one male per tank or females together. Okay. Okay, so that seems like that's kind of like with similar to African cichlids, but not as much. It seems like whenever they pair up, just kind of like with discus. I'm sure you have that experience with that as well, Jose. That whenever they pair up, that's probably when they get the worst as far as aggression goes, because they want to be together and try to pair and breed and that sort of thing. And that's like with anything too. I mean, I'm sure with angels it gets a little bit more dangerous when it comes to that nature, but with fish, whenever they try to breed and stuff, just like with any other fish that try to breed, that they want their territory, their personal space, and that sort of thing. So that makes sense. Okay, so Jesse thinks that they only bother each other. So it's good to know because I haven't really looked up a whole lot about angelfish. This is why I want to get on here and see your guys' opinion on that. And I'm trying to think of what the best thing to be to pair them with. And I still think it'd be neat to do like neon tetras, but like I said, I'm trying to get out of the rhythm of doing things I've already done. And the whole purpose of this 75-gallon tank is to do something that I haven't done yet, and I haven't done angelfish at all this whole entire adult fish career right now. So that's why I want to try to stay away from tetras. Now, if I want to do tetras, it would have to be something. Oh, there was some tetras I found on here. Let me see here. Something like this. Let me see if this will share on here. Let me see if I can screen share candy cane. I mean, this I might just have to look it up. Unless it suggests on here. So I wouldn't do electric blue Acaras. I have a hard time with those guys. I have a few, but only one that's in decent shape. Let me see if I can share this screen here. Um, give me 1 second. Let's do this one. if I were to do tetras, I would kind of do something like this. And I would kind of try to contrast it with stuff that I would do with the angelfish. I would try to match the colors up with these sort of things, which is kind of cool. I mean, I can see why they're called candy cane, just because of the colors and stuff. So that would kind of make sense. But yeah, candy canes are beautiful. Have about 20. Okay, I don't remember you having candy cane Tetris, but that's cool though. So that's kind of the ideas I've been running around. I kind of appreciate your guys' thoughts and comments and everything between Jesse and Jose, and I saw June. She was in here. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's going to be interesting to find out what I ended up getting. But I was kind of hoping to maybe set things up this weekend before Alana's birthday on Sunday, but I don't think that's going to happen. So it's going to be kind of put on hold. And plus, I don't know what decorations I want to put in there yet because I don't believe I am going to use the decorations I already have because I want to do something different. There might be a couple I might be able to use, but it kind of like before I get the fish and I'm solid about it, I think that's the last thing I'm going to want to do. But whenever I do decide what fish I want, and let's say for example when I buy them from like if I do use Imperial Tropicals, whatever website, or even if I go to my local fish store and buy them, I want to look at them, check them out, and get an idea, and then from there I want to buy my decorations or plants, and I might even do. Another question is for you guys too, for all in your planted tanks, is one to use black diamond sand, and holy crap, black diamond sand. It's actually kind of like a coal base, the stuff that I got from Tractor Supply. Um, but it does say black diamond on it, and it's you have to rinse the crap out of it. I love the look of it. It looks great, and I love the way that it contrasts with the background. But man, I spent so much time. I probably rinsed it and rinsed it and rinsed it. Even when I thought it was still rinsed, I was still getting, cloudiness, after all that, even if just a little bit. And I'm particular about that sort of thing. So man, it just took forever to rinse. Even with like a bag and a half of 50-pound bags, I was just taking a little bit at a time because I couldn't do it like big amounts at a time because there was just so much to rinse out. And it definitely made it worth it. And honestly, there's probably still going to be maybe a slight little bit left in there, but man, even after rinsing that much, it was just such a pain to do. But I think it was worth it though, because it looks really great in that tank. And there's probably a good 3 to 4 inches of substrate in there, deep enough for plants if I want to go that route. So I was thinking if I wanted to do something different, I would do the planted tank as well to follow up on the one that I had before. So I think that'll be a good idea. But I kind of have to think about what plants I want to do. So that's kind of all thought process in the future. And I won't have anything real stunning at the beginning if I decide to go with plants because I'd want them to all grow out and that sort of thing. So that's my ideas I've been running through, and that's how things have been. So you've had black skirts, neons, ember tetras, and used to have long fins, serpa tetras. Okay. So yeah, it seems like that's an all-around general base of what to put with angelfish. You got like your tetras and stuff, and most of your community fish will probably do well. It seems like you got your neon tetras, your candy canes, your black skirts and neons, ember tetras. So it seems like they get along well with that, and they don't, a lot of that stuff like community stuff, they don't bother the plants a whole lot, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. But I was thinking, like, could I pair German blue rams or like Bolivian rams? If that's something to think, because I've always wanted to try those too, but I never had the tank space to do them. And I always loved seeing those things because I know that my uncle's wife, she has some, and I hope that she still has some available because they were breeding, and she was wondering when I could stop by and maybe take a look at them. And I don't know if she still has them because I remember she was accidentally breeding them at one point, and she had a bunch, and then they ended up eating all of them, or something happened to them, and I can't remember. I think that's what happened. But I was thinking of doing that too. June says, Red cap angels would look good with the candy canes. All right, so let me look those things up because I've never heard of unless we had bypassed them already on the Imperial Tropical. So we got red cap angelfish. Oh yeah. So that would go well. Let me share this here. See there, I think that would go really well with your let's see what you said, your with your candy canes. That would be a good combination. That's interesting. I wonder if I'd be able to find that either maybe on like Ron Cichlids or another website if Imperial Tropicals doesn't have them. Let me look those up on Imperial Tropicals just really quick. Red cap angelfish. Yeah, they don't have anything specifically for red cap. They just have the normal stuff that we've been looking through already. But I do like this idea that you're giving me for this. Nope. Yeah, those things are really cool. I like it. I like the way you think. Um, the candy cane. So if I could do that with these red cap ones, that would be a good contrast. And then maybe I could mix in some of um what else did I see on here? Some of these, not the koi ones. Oh, I just lost them. June, I was wanted your opinion on this. The red devil ones. So let me share that screen. So I wonder if I could do the red caps with these guys with black substrate and background and with the candy cane tetras along with the red cap angelfish. I think that would be a really, really neat combination. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I appreciate the suggestion. Red cap with the candy canes. I think that would look good. So yeah, some interesting things to look around. I think I would want to get like a different pleco too, to kind of get something a little on the fancier side as well. I'm always a sucker for suckerfish, no pun intended. But I do like the plecos. I want to get like a different type of like a sailfin pleco, something that shows a lot of patterns to it, along with a couple of your bottom feeders, and then throw in some angels and some candy canes um, as well. Candy cane tetras with the red cap angels and that sort of thing. I can close this now. I don't have to. I can stop sharing. But yeah, very interesting. Very cool to see. So that's been kind of running through my head. Yeah, I don't know. I like loaches too. I've always loved the zebra loaches, but I want to get something different. Um, I think it'll be nice to look around for something, just different with the loaches. Um, I wonder what would go good with black, for a substrate. And I figure with some of the plants and stuff, with the greenery, I think that would really help everything pop out as well, especially with the plants. So I think that would be kind of cool. Hill streams, yeah. So I've kind of thought about that as well. Hill stream, loaches, yep. I think that would kind of look really neat. I think I should try that because I know that Jody P. I've seen some of the Hellstream loaches that they have, and I believe she got them from Dan's Fish, if I'm not mistaken. But those things are wild. Those things um, are so cool looking. I like the Hellstream loaches because they're just an oddball looking fish, but they look so cool. So that would be something I would definitely consider doing as well. Hey Troy, thanks for coming in, my friend. Appreciate it. A bluefin a bluefin hillstream loach. So I'm going to look that up too. Bluefin hillstream loach. Oh my. Yeah, so you get something like, I don't know if I can zoom in on this. We'll go to images. That's too, let's see here. We'll share screen here. So yeah, you got like your this be something like this maybe, which would be kind of cool. Behind me, Troy. This is an all African cichlid tank behind me. Yes, it is. And I've bred all these fish myself. I have not paid a single penny for any of these fish other than taking care of them. Yeah, these things are cool looking. Yeah, you were definitely right. Even then, I mean, with the blue fins and stuff, that would look really cool. You were definitely right on the money on that one. What else do we got here? Yeah, I mean, I can't complain too much at all. Even like something like this. Yeah, that would look pretty cool too. I'm sure they are, June. I'm sure they are. It's probably going to be hard to find them, but I appreciate the suggestion. Yeah, that works really well. So yeah, I didn't even think about the Hillstream Loach. So that's a good idea to do something different as well because I've never had one of those either. So if I do, I think this is a good idea to do the red top angelfish, the red devil angelfish along with the candy cane tetras would be a good mixture. Throw some green plants in there and then do some Hillstream Loaches and maybe a pleco to call it off. I think that would be kind of a good combination if I were to go that way. On eBay, okay. I know a lot of people seem to have good luck on eBay. And then Jody P would definitely be someone to look into as well because I know she has some loaches. Is there a an auction within the community coming up that you know of? I was kind of wondering that too because I sometimes forget about that and then I find out too late because I try to be a part of that as well. At least be in the community and in the YouTube live stream and try to go from there. But I can't remember the last time there was one, and if there is one coming up, then I would like to know. As it would be kind of neat to get some from the community as well, especially with like an auction and that sort of thing, which is fun to do. But yeah, Saturday, really, like this Saturday, that's coming up. Well, then I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it then. I did not know that. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate it. Yeah, well, that's good to know. I'm gonna have to. Let's see. What time does it start? Because I do have his notifications on, so that's helpful. Let's see here. Live. Oh yeah, so it's scheduled for. Wow, he's got a lot of auctions up on here. Scheduled for tomorrow at 8 p.m. Boy, that's going to be an exciting one to do. That's cool. Oh, so maybe that's I don't know what 5-star beta is. Beta. um so maybe that's where everyone is kind of hanging around then is that's why I only have very few watchers here tonight. But I appreciate you hanging out, June. And I'm sure Stephen P is going to be on here in about 10 minutes or so. So that's probably where everyone is hiding. Um, okay. Yeah. This one is a 220, Troy. I put this all together myself. If you haven't checked it out on my channel, um, I'll put the link into the chat of how I set this thing up. I've had this fish tank, Troy, since December, like middle of the winter. Like, well, I think it was either just after Christmas. I think it's when I had it and I got it. I'd have to double check and make sure. But I can probably see this video, share this. It's actually my latest one. I will copy the link and throw it in here. So that's the video. If you have a chance, Troy, check it out. It's a long one though. I think it's what it is. Yeah, 27 minutes long. So it's a long one, but it shows the entire process of when I got it, how I started up, and I also have like a little it's kind of like a recap of what I did in order to get here. And this is why this tank took so long, because there was a lot of preparation with it. I had to get some filters with it, gather the substrate, had to sell some tanks, move some fish tanks. It was a huge process. But the reason why I got the tank so early, long story short, Troy, is because it was at a good deal and I never would be able to find this tank anywhere else. I got it on Marketplace. The gentleman I got it from was very, very good to work with. And I've always wanted a really large tank, and this is going to be their permanent home. And this is all fish that I've raised up myself. So it's kind of like my prized possession sort of thing. Oh, and Didi is live. Okay, so that makes sense then too. Busy night tonight. Yeah, I did my first water change on it the other day. Um, with my channel, I used to have a peacock dragon blood peacock cage. I call it my dragon cage because they were dragon bloods. I used to sit right in the center here, and you could walk around the entire thing. And that was my favorite things to do, is to walk around the entire tank, and they would follow you around. So I was gonna miss that once I took it down, because that's kind of where my equipment is sitting at right now. But this is kind of thing that I've noticed now, that these guys will follow you around. So I kind of have regained that aspect of having that dragon cage, mainly because they think they're going to get fed, but they're really personable. And I just have enjoyed this fish tank on a whole. My daughter comes in here and runs back and forth, and the fish follow her around back and forth. So I'm like, these fish, like, this is why this is one of my favorite fish tanks, because my Mbuna fish tank, they all hide no matter who goes up there. They all hide. Same with that Mbuna tank. So it just seems like no matter who's here, everyone that comes down here, um, they're all personable. They're all right up at the front of the glass, and they follow you around, and they never run away or hide or do anything. So it's just great to be able to have a tank like that, that you don't have to worry about the fish hiding away every time you come up to the tank. And it's just an all around great experience. So I really, really enjoyed it. But thank you for that. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, I just saw that, Jose. I appreciate it. I will look into that here. It's a 15-second video. What did you send me, Jose? Holy smoke. So are those candy cane tetras then, is what you were talking about? I think that's what they are. That's what they look like. Their top and bottom fins, they really do a splash of color with that white discus in there too. That's cool. Yeah, I like that, man. Thanks for sending that to me. So I can see why it would be neat to have like one of those red top angelfish, or even like a white angelfish, to combine with the tetras as well, the candy cane tetras. Where did you get those at? Was it just your local fish store? Or did you buy those online somewhere, or how'd you get those? I appreciate you sharing that to me, Jose. Yeah, this fish tank behind me, it's a 220 gallon. I've really enjoyed the setup process of it. It's run by two FX6s. I've set them all up myself according to how I want them to be set up, and I have very high hopes for how that is set up. And I've had a lot of fun doing it too. It's been a huge process. I've cleaned this tank up. I've done so much with it. I bought extra decorations to put inside here, so it's been a whole lot of fun. You got six. You have about six in a 60-gallon, and these 15 in quarantine. First time I saw in person was at okay. First time I saw in person was at my Discus local fish store. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I can see those would probably be kind of rare to find. I wonder if I'd be able to find those at my local fish store is about an hour from here. So yeah, yeah, very interesting. And I've never heard of those before. So like that's really neat that you have those, and yeah, I guess you could feel very fortunate to have those because those are very neat to see. And I don't think I would. I've never seen those that I can remember at any type of big box store, even a local fish store. So that's pretty cool to see. I like that idea a lot. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with everything going on right now. I'm going to have a very good weekend, and I'm going to get ready for Alana's birthday on Saturday or Sunday, I should say. And I'm sure you paid a lot. Paid more than twice as much at my Discus local fish store for over $8 Agua Unos, 325. Yeah, I believe it. Definitely believe that, man. Thanks again, Jose, for sending me those, I guess, watchdogs or alarms for your water and stuff. If anyone doesn't know about that, if you guys ever set up your canister filters, it's always good to put them in bins. I did not do that originally down here first, but I ended up ordering four of them off of Uline per Jose's suggestion. And I got the original idea before that through Ben Ocha. I just never did that. So now that I'm doing that, I was able to get, Jose was nice enough to send those for me, and I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm going to get those set up this weekend to put underneath these. I just have to be able to, um, I'll just have to turn the FX6s off and just take the hoses off real quick, put them in the bin and slide them back in place. But it'll be nice to have because you never know, and you might have something that leaks, and then that alarm will go off, and they'll notify my wife. If I'm not home, or if I'm home, say, hey, there's a water leak in FX6. And granted, I have my fish room in a basement with floor drain in it, so thankfully, even if something like that happens, at least there won't be a whole lot of damaged things that's on the floor. It's all just like the stands and stuff. But at any rate, even then, you don't want something to continuously run, with that, being in mind. So it's good to have that alarm at any rate, even being in a basement, you don't want water all over the floor. Um, and you don't want your equipment going bad. So it's a nice warning message of saying, hey, something's wrong. So that's a very, very good thing to have. Okay. In June, I really, really hope you follow my channel for the years to come because my actual plan is I will be owning Oscars at some point in my lifetime, and I'm going to get them when they're this big, and I'm going to be putting them over there eventually at some point. See what I did there? See what I did there? I pointed over there, and all these guys went that way. All these guys followed me. I pointed over there, and all of them just went towards my hands. Yeah, how else do you mop? Exactly. How else do you mop? Exactly. Gotta use the fish tank water. But June, um, eventually at some point, I'm going to be, like I said, in the far future. It probably won't happen until maybe next year, maybe the end of next year. But at some point, I really hope you keep following my channel and following along because I'm going to be owning some Oscars. I'm going to have a big tank with probably Oscars and Bala sharks. It's going to be one big tank, and I'm thinking I might want to set it up myself, maybe like a plywood tank, or maybe save up for a custom aquarium. But I'm not entirely sure about how that's all going to pan out yet. But I want it to be over there as like my last big tank, and it's probably going to be like Jesse size, like probably a 375 or something big like that, something ridiculous. And I'm going to be putting nothing but big fish in there, like Oscars, baller sharks. I want one of my bucket list fish is a peacock bass. So I'm going to kind of look at information at the time. I think it'd be cool to have one of those because when I grew up, I was always, doing bass fishing. And I still like bass fishing to this day. I go to my ponds and stuff and catch them. They're my favorite fish to catch. So I think it'd be nice to have one of those S fish in there too. So eventually, at some point in June, as you keep following me around, that you will see me having Oscars at some point, just not in the near future. But that is the initial plan, is to get a big tank at some point. Oh, so they're out of stock. Okay, sweet. So that worked out for you then. I'll check out Aquahuna then. I'll type that in so I don't forget it on my Google search. AQU Aquahuna. Okay. So I will go. Oh, skip to content. Okay. So I will go on this website. I have it saved on my favorites, Jose. So I appreciate the website on my bookmarks. And then I'll save the candy cane ones as well, so I don't forget about those. They have 3 of them at Imperial Tropicals currently. Um, yeah, the notification is nice. Yeah, Imperial Tropicals does that too. 325 came in a nice size. The local fish store was like 850 and really small. Holy smoke. That's crazy. That's the only thing that sucks about, like, when you go to local fish stores, is some of them, especially, you almost got to be careful, because even with products at local fish stores, especially if they're like a mom and pop shop, not like your big box stores, you kind of have to be careful, because I've been to one before to where the place is nice and the people there were very nice, but the cost of everything, it just didn't outweigh what I wanted to spend. And even like something as simple as like an air pump, they wanted like 3 times as much as what you would pay even like on Amazon, or twice as much at like your big box stores. And I was like, holy cow. I was like, some of the stuff in there was just so expensive. But at any rate, it's nice to see that. Hey, Scotty, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. We've been talking about angelfish and different options. We've been bringing up. June brought up, they have the redhead, or the red top angelfish with the white bodies. I brought up the red devil angelfish that I thought would be kind of cool to mix in with those. And then we are talking about candy cane tetras and hellstream loaches for my new 75-gallon fish tank, because that's now open, because I used to have African cichlids in it. Since then, long story short, it's down here now and it's set up, but there's just no water in it. I was hoping to get it set up and presentable for Alana's birthday this weekend, but it just isn't happening now. Yeah, I imagine they're hard to find, and I imagine if I were to find them at a local fish store, I probably would buy on impulse buy, and I would probably set them up in a quarantine tank myself. But I currently only have one quarantine tank right now, and he is there. It's currently being occupied. But the Mbuna that I healed up, he's actually doing really, he or she is doing really, really well. It had some severe body damage and some fin damage. I think the body damage was just from him rubbing up against one of the rocks and stuff, and running away from whatever was happening in there that I didn't see. Um, but he healed up nicely, so I should be able to add him back into the tank here within the next week or two. But yeah, we were going through that, like some of the black veil angels. We were looking at some of those. I'll show you these. There's these red devil kois here. Let me present that again. So this is kind of what I was thinking, is I really like these ones, and I was thinking if you could mix those, like I was saying before, the black veil tetras. The only bad thing is my substrate is black diamond sand, which is obviously black, and then I also have a black background. So you may not be able to see them unless they swim by a plant or like a decoration of that nature. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about Sketty earlier too. Is it seems like whenever they bother anybody else, it's usually just the angelfish, from what I'm understanding, and everyone in the chat that they're all talking about that they only get aggressive toward each other, but not necessarily to the other fish, because the other fish, I guess, supposedly must not be a threat to them. So only the other angelfish, especially when they pair up, it's kind of like discus sort of thing. Fajakas. I'm gonna have to look that up too, because I don't know what that is. Oh, so like a puffer fish. Okay. Wonder if Imperial Tropicals has that in here. I know what a pufferfish is. Fajaka puffer. So Imperial Tropicals does have fajakas. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I butchered that, I apologize. These guys get about, well, their max size is 17 to 18 inches. Okay, I said correctly. So that's another option I could do. I could get some of those. And yes, they do get big. So I could keep that in mind as well. And I would think, I would probably only have to, if I were to get those and they were to survive, are they slow growers though? Are pufferfish slow growers or do they grow, like, what's the growth rate? Um, they bury themselves in the sand. So they must be they seem to be extremely territorial and aggressive towards everything. Bury themselves in the sand, leaving just their eyes visible above the surface. So I might have to be might have to be careful with them then. At least 120 gallons. So I would probably have to keep them in a start them off in a smaller. I could probably start them in the 75, but they would definitely have to get moved. Something at least in a 300 gallon for them to swim around in. Yeah, that would be like for future use. But they're neat though. Okay, so 12-inch in captivity. So they might be okay in a 75, but I think to start out in per se, that not as a permanent location. After that, they're a-holes. Yeah. Gene says they're friendly, which is good. Jorge, I was talking about we are talking about these angelfish, and I wanted to ask the angelfish if I believe you have angelfish. Do you pair them with tetras yourself, and they don't seem to bother them? Because we've been talking about like you were talking about like neon tetras or cardinal tetras or something of that nature. Because I have a 75 gallon that's free right now, and we're talking about like my live stream topic of angelfish. And if we were talking about like candy cane tetras, there's some different angelfish, and then some hillstream loaches and something of that nature. Tanks filled with masses of dime to quarter size angel babies. Yeah, and let them all grow out together. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, that's one thing I'm debating. I wanted the recommend the bigger body tetras. So we were just thinking of like if you ever heard of Jorge of the candy cane tetras, we um we were talking about that a little bit. We're getting some ideas flowing here for my next 75 gallon. Oh, come on, you. I was searching that up to try to show you the yep. Yeah, and that's the kind of thing I would probably stay away from the smaller ones. And I was also, like I was saying earlier with everybody, that I want to stay away from these smaller tetras just because I've already done them before when I first started the hobby. I've just never done the candy cane tetras, and I think those things would be kind of neat to see. And Jose was just talking about them and how he gets them, how the price he paid for them was a lot cheaper than what you actually see at a local fish store. And emperor tetras. Okay. Oops. So yeah, it seems like that would do well. Emperor tetras do well with angels. They are larger tetras and can be aggressive with smaller fish. Okay, that's good to know then. You have 4 tanks of snails for the Fajakas, barely keeping up. So wow. Is this like what type of snails in June? Is this were we talking about like Malaysian trumpet snails? Are we talking about assassin snails? Or are you just talking about just you go to the store and just get general snails and you just keep up with them? Flame tetras. Okay, let me see if Imperial Tropicals has the flame tetra since you already know about the candy canes. Let me see. Let me see here. TE tetras. Flame Von Rio tetras. Oh, come on. Let me share this here. So you're talking about these then, Jorge. Seems like these guys get about, go to animal data, 1 to 2 inches. Are these the things you're talking about? Okay. So those are do good then with the angels. Okay. That sounds good. Hey, Smileys, thanks for coming in and hanging out for a little bit. Just rummaging some ideas to pair with angelfish and where to go to from there. Jose, I will look at these messages after my live stream is done, since they're a little bit longer. But I will look at these and your transcript after I'm done here. But yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like that idea too, Jorge. We're getting all sorts of ideas, and I haven't picked anything solid. I'm just trying to get some ideas on what to do for my future tank. So that's kind of the whole ordeal of what's going on here. But I am going to get going here, folks. I'm going to try. I want to try to see if I can see my daughter before she goes to sleep, and make sure that I make myself known, and talk to my wife a little bit before I go on my next live stream, which is through Twitch. I'm going to be doing some of my other hobby over there, because I'm going to be doing that for a little bit, doing some gaming on there. So if you guys want to follow me over there, I'm going to post a link on Jesse's Discord. But I appreciate everyone coming in and stopping out and hanging out for a little bit. It's been fun as always. I'm trying to think of a different day to do my live streams, but right now I'm still sticking with Fridays. October, might have to switch days from Fridays to a different day. But anyways, Mail Congo. Okay, Jose, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday evening. Thanks for all your suggestions that everyone has been giving me. It's greatly appreciated. I love running through these ideas because, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to get a different variation of different fish, instead of just angels to try to mix and match different things. And it's nice to have the experience that you guys had that I don't, so I can ask you guys these questions and then go from there. It's been a big help. So maybe I'll see everyone on over on Saturday for the fish auction on Jeff Valham's live stream. And then and until then, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.